4 kids: Elijah, Talon, Isaiah, and Theodore. And we moved to the farm in 2011 originally. We rented for a while and then eventually bought the place, mostly doing cattle and row crop, but then I really wanted a couple of goats, like more than anything, and so I convinced my family to get a couple of goats, and so here we were with all of this going on and a couple of goats. And what I realized is that I was really good with the goats, but it was hard to get out there. So that kind of started my passion for how do I get out there, how do I get involved, because I'm bored sitting in here and I'm over it. So I started slowly getting more involved with the farm with just book work and stuff, but I really liked the animals I wanted my hands on. So that's kind of when I contacted Easter Seals and asked like what funding's available, what might I be able to accomplish, and it just kind of all was born from there.
Renae was referred to our program and got a hold of us, and really at that point her request was to identify some resources to make life on the farm a little bit easier: an automatic watering system, funding resources, things like that. We quickly realized that Renae had the passion and the drive that her operation could be more than just identifying that one watering system and could grow rapidly. We utilized Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services, and my main role was keeping things on track. Renae is highly intelligent. She is an incredible researcher, and one skill set that I hope that I learned from Renae, and hopefully I can use it in my own life, is she returns from a setback with more motivation, more passion, and more drive than before that setback. And that's a skill set not every human has. A setback can really put people in a situation where they decide to give up, they decide to let things go, but Renae is a true Iowa farmer in that when she is hit with a barrier in her way, she'll find anything to get through it, and she'll identify any resource, and that's really her true strength.
Easter Seals was a huge piece of the advocacy because the road to getting the grants and funding isn't really smooth, and so Easter Seals was there to kind of help keep things progressing and keep people on track. I was using a 4-wheeler to get to the goats originally, and it's okay, but it's hard to get on and off, especially if it's not the best mobility day for me, because some days are better than others. So the Zoom was probably the first thing that came that was really life-changing, because suddenly I could go pretty much wherever I wanted, like it handles most things. But then once the Zoom came, it's like, okay, there's another challenge, because how do I get in the pens? And that turned out to be a pretty big headache with a old barn, because retrofitting it with more modern garage doors that would get my Zoom in and out was nearly impossible. And the barn is situated across the cattle lot, and it just was harder for me to get out there than I would have liked. So the dream for the new barn was born, because if we started from scratch, we theorized that we could make a whole lot of things more accessible for me. The goats are probably my #1 passion. I just enjoy raising them. I love breeding them. I like seeing how they turn out. I like telling people to come to us because we'll produce good milkers for their families.
So the team was able to really work individually with our folks in rural areas to make sure that they had supports, to teach them how to utilize equipment, to deliver and show people how to use the equipment, to set up the equipment. A lot of our clients that we serve in the smaller rural communities really count on our team members to be able to adapt and change as their needs are changing.
It gives me a lot more activities I can participate in with my kids too. So it is for me, but it's also for them, because the accessibility factors kind of level the playing field so that I can get in and get involved with them easier. I want them to see me as someone who can be independent and who can live her best life. Like, I want them to know that, because I don't want them to see me as someone who needs all this help.